Winging it, let's fly somewhere. Many Americans think traveling to Cuba is actually off limits.
Oh, no. In fact, there is a way to travel to the island nation legally.
And here to tell us how is Tom Popper, president of Insight Cuba, a licensed travel provider. Welcome and thank you for joining us on the couch.
So great to be here.
So now tell us about people to people. Oh, actually, wait, before we even start that, let's talk about what's on the table here. What did you bring to show us?
Well, guys, I just got back from Cuba on Saturday, and one of the community projects that we visit is run by an artist named Lazarus Salsita. What he does is he provides an after-school program for children in Old Havana, and he recycles materials, and they make paper-mache figurines.
Oh, wow.
So I met with the children last week in Lazarus and told them that I was coming on the show today. They were so excited. They were jumping up and down. So they spent a couple of days making these figurines for you three. And
oh my gosh,
directly
they're so
from,
cute.
Are you
the
serious?
children.
That's amazing. And these are from the newspapers. I see Juventud Rebelde, I think is what this one says.
That's right, the Granma, which is the local national paper. What was amazing is when I looked at this piece in particular, this is a wooden clock. I said to myself, I don't even know the last time or if I've ever seen a wooden clock. When you guys look closely on the face of it, it says made in the USSR.
Oh my goodness.
So,
so this is from way back.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Wow. Well, thank you so much. That's amazing. So now, well, let's get started because I know there's a lot of interest in going to Cuba. So tell us about the trips. They're called people to people. So can you explain that?
Absolutely. So really, for the first time, or the third time in 50 years, Americans can legally travel to Cuba. Since 1963, there's been travel restrictions. So recently, as recent as 2 years ago, President Obama started an initiative called People to People Travel, which is to link Americans and regular Cubans together. And companies like Insight Cuba, like my company, we have a special license that allows Americans to travel to Cuba legally.
Unbelievable. Wow.
And you say that it's key that it's a licensed provider.
Absolutely. So there's been few opportunities for Americans to travel to Cuba. But under this program, initiated by the White House, Americans that register with the company that has this special license can travel to Cuba legally. Now, it is a guided tour that they're on. The activities are amazing. For example, visiting this particular artist. These are experiences that the normal tourists won't get, but they do provide that. Americans don't go for tourist activities, so it is an educational experience. So you're meeting with artists, singers, musicians.
You're not sitting on the beach and going to the spa.
That's correct. There's no...
No, but you get to learn.
So
I bet it's so culture rich. Yeah.
Absolutely. You were taking people to places that the average tourist would never see. We have access that's just unsurmountable.
So it sounds like it has to be an American company.
That's correct. So the U.S. Treasury Department, which licenses these trips, can only license U.S. companies. Now, there are foreign companies, Canadian, Mexican, European, that provide legal travel to Cuba, that have been traveling to Cuba ever since the beginning. But Americans, it doesn't matter what country you originate from. It's the fact that you're an American citizen that you're prohibited from traveling there on your own or through another country. So Americans just need to find a licensed operator, and there are many of them these days, and they can travel to Cuba legally.
And does that company take care of everything? All the arrangements?
That's right. Inside Cuba, for example, we take care of everything. So once you register, it's like really signing up for any other trip. We provide all the information. We take care of all the paperwork. We take care of flights from Miami, which are chartered licensed flights.
I was going to say, it's not like you get on a Delta flight. It's a charter flight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you have to have the license in order to board the flight. But I just came back via Miami, and the planes are full, coming back and forth all the time.
How long is the flight? Just curious. Is it like an hour?
40 minutes.
It's 40 minutes.
You go up,
you
go down.
You could take jet skis there.
Someone's trying.
We were talking about this before we actually came on. So what do you think would surprise Americans most about Cuba as it stands today?
Such a great question. What surprises everybody is how warm, gentle, friendly, and welcoming the Cuban people are, especially towards Americans, and that their society and their culture is vibrant and lively, and just the passion that people have.
But I have to ask you this question. What do you say to critics who say this is a bad idea? And what do you say to people, especially there's this very vocal group in parts of Florida that say we should not be doing this, and this sends the wrong message to the dictatorship that's still in control of Cuba?
Great question. what I can say to that is that the people-to-people programs, when we're bringing Americans to Cuba, they're meeting with regular Cubans who are denied access to many things. The Americans that travel there engage with them. It also has spurred a cottage industry in Cuba that the Americans support. But we're not doing anything harmful. We're just meeting with regular people in real-life situations, traveling.
Well, Jay-Z and Beyonce kind of highly publicized the trip to Cuba, but they actually went legally.
They sure did. They went under a people-to-people license, just like really any American can in the United States. They went with their family, a group of 12 people, and they actually went to many of the same activities that our programs go to. They went to a primary school. You saw pictures of Beyonce with students, and that's one of the most, for many people who travel, to visit a primary school in a foreign country as an American is one of the most amazing experiences, because the kids, you feel like a rock star because the kids see you, and they're just amazed by the fact that somebody's coming to visit them, especially from America.
Right.
And their eyes are huge, their smiles are grand, and they just come with hugs, and they want to play, and people, their eyes well up with tears just because the emotional exchange is just outrageous.
Beyonce felt like a rock star.
Well,
wait a minute, she is a star.
Well, what about the younger Cuban-American generation and, their ability to travel to Cuba? Do you think that we'll continue to be able to travel, and what's the response been from them?
The younger generation is traveling in greater numbers than ever before. President Obama in 2009 actually relaxed the travel restrictions for Cuban Americans visiting family, and actually last year over 400,000 Cuban Americans traveled to Cuba to visit family, the largest number since 1963, since the travel restrictions were put into place. We're receiving a lot of phone calls from Cuban Americans that have heritage but not necessarily family in Cuba. They want to go home.
Sure.
They want to see what it's like.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though they don't have any relatives there, they want to see the house that they've heard about from grandma. They want to see and touch and smell the places that they've heard about their whole lives. And so those are amazing experiences as well.
Yeah. And it's 45 minutes away.
Yeah, and you spoke so much about their generosity and their kind hearts, so please take our thanks back for his beautiful, beautiful artistic creations. Thank you.
And thank you, Tom Popper. And this segment, if you want to see it again, you can log on to WLNYTV.com/thecouch. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, guys.
Well, now in today's